Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're all having a good morning, afternoon, night, whenever you're watching this video. And we're going to be talking about what's next for Global. What's legit next for Global. So Netmarble decided to, basically say, screw it. We're going to cram six characters that Global's missing into one single banner. Now, that was I think that was kind of like a dumb move slash a smart move on their part, because that is like potential banners that we could have skipped and saved gems on. Now everybody is going to spend their gems on this banner, even if you tell them to skip, right? They're not going to be able to resist because there are 6 SSRs on the banner, which does suck because I know a lot of people are going to complain when the big boy himself comes out. But before we get into any of that, be sure to leave a like. Let's reach a like goal of 100 likes. I know we can do it. Also, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And of course, as always, a huge shout out to our members of the channel. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, everyone. But I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's go ahead and let's get straight into the video. So you're asking yourself, what's next on Global? Now we have a banner with 6 SSRs that we were missing, and that did cut down on the amount of units that we are missing on Global by literally more than half. So we are missing only these 5 characters on Global, which is kind of insane. Now Assault Mode Meliotis should be coming out on the 16th to replace the one Escanor, and he is going to be a festival unit. You guys already know that, right? He's going to be the Holy War festival unit. His banner is very, very good. I'm not going to go over it because I went over a bajillion times, but his banner is very, very good. Now the unit himself, I would say he would probably be either second or third best unit in the game, depending on where you put Green Gulther. He would be either the maybe even like the second or third best unit in the game. It depends on where you put Green Gulther, right? It all depends on your personal ranking. But yes, he is very, very good. The only unfortunate thing about him, since he is dependent on demons or commandments, he doesn't have a set partner with said teams, right? Like an actual partner. If this were to be ran on, just you could run this anywhere, he wouldn't need a partner per se, but he does. Now, if they would have put Green Gulther as a demon in the game, then he would probably just have Green Gulther as a best buddy. But regardless, he is still very, very good, and he should be coming out within the next 2 weeks or so. So yeah, he's definitely gonna be coming out soon. Just again, I'm telling you guys, be sure to save. There's no reason why you guys shouldn't be able to save. I understand that the banner that just dropped on Global is very, very enticing, especially since they're all level 80 and max star awakened. But please, 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 just use tickets. Just use tickets to summon on the banner. If you're free to play, just skip the banner entirely. But that's all I'm going to say about it in this video. But right now, he is still a very, very like disastrous unit. Like he's filthy. This boy is filthy. Unfortunately, the one is like probably still better than him, since the one can right out the gate one-shot units, whereas this Meliotis does need time to build up with his passive. He needs his allies to be hit, etc, etc. So yeah, he's still a very, very good unit. Again, second right there to the one Escanor, just second right there. But this should be the next banner that comes out on Global, give or take, whenever they decide to release him. They could just throw us an entire curveball and decide to release Valenti. Now Valenti was actually she was actually leaked. Now that's pretty crazy because they could decide to just release Valenti instead of Assault Mode Meliotis when Escanor leaves, which would actually be a big curveball because no one would be expecting that. Now, what would happen is you should skip this banner. You should definitely skip Valenti and Easton's banner because it's not really that great. If we go ahead and we take a look at their actual banner, again, it's really not that like great. You have all of the OC characters, of course. So you have Green Shin, Red Roxy, both the monos. You have, I believe this is Blue Easton. Then you have Green Valenti. And, you know, it's just not that great of a banner. You have every single Lilia, and then obviously you have the new units, Easton and Valenti, but again, not that great. And also it is also another 300/600 mileage reward banner, which isn't that great in my personal opinion. So, like, yeah, this is an easy skip in my personal opinion, even though Valenti is very good. Valenti is very good. She does cuck units that rely on crits heavily with her passive because she increases her pierce rate and crit damage by the value equal to 50% of her own crit resistance. So a lot of people do build her with crit resistance gear, which is probably one of the first times I have ever seen people build a unit with crit resistance, like top tier unit, by the way, with crit resistance, right? That is probably the first time I've ever seen that in this game, which blew my mind, but I knew they would, since she does increase her pierce rate and crit damage, and her crit chance is actually very, very good as well, because at base it's at 30%, so give or take, like I imagine it'll probably go up to like 40 something with cosmetics, but yeah, it's actually very, very good crit chance to, you know, regardless of how low it is, because you take this into consideration. She's increasing her pierce rate and crit damage, and she's also being built with crit resistance. So I would say, with all of that evened out, I would say her crit chance is actually fairly good, right? Even though it probably would be lower than 50%, you still have an AoE Sever card, which is going to do good damage, since it does have 3 times crit chance, by the way. So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, very, very good unit. Again, you guys already know how powerful AoE Sever cards is. Sorry, Al. But yeah, she has that, and that's very, very strong since she's increasing her crit damage. So yeah, very, very good unit. However, her banner, I don't think it's really all of that like worthwhile to summon on. A part of me hopes they do release Melly first before they release Valenti, so that way I have time to know if I'll summon on this banner. If they release her before Meliotis, I might just do one rotation and then call it quits. Like, I might literally just do one rotation and call it quits, because they have tickets, so that's very, very nice. So that'll cut down on the amount of gems I have to spend on her actual banner. And unfortunately, if I get her 1 out of 6, I get her 1 out of 6. It is what it is. But yeah, her second skill is very, very good. They did nerf it upon her initial release, because when they showcased her in her live stream, this wasn't AoE, which is bonkers, because this nullifies all skill effects, including ultimate moves for 1 turn, and then 2 turns on rank 3, and it does have fairly decent damage as well. 400 at rank 3 is very good, considering it's nullifying all skill effects. So that means they won't be able to use barriers, they won't be able to use literally anything. They literally won't be able to use anything unless it's a stance or recovery skills. That's crazy. That's just crazy to me. If this were AoE, she'd be top tier. She'd literally be broken. She would legit be broken, because they wouldn't be able to do jack. Like, the one wouldn't be able to use his influx damage. Goddess Elizabeth wouldn't even be able to use her barrier. Gother wouldn't have dissolve. Like, it would just be insane. So this is very, very good still, even though it is single target. You can play it out strategically, right? And since it does count as a debuff skill, you could run like Green Hendrickson on the back to give her even more damage, which is very, very nice. And then her ultimate is good as well, because not only does it do AoE damage, it also increases damage dealt by 50% and decreases damage taken by 50% for 3 turns. So very, very nice AoE ultimate right there. But that's it for Valenti. Still a very, very top tier unit in my opinion. Very, very good. Easton, not so much. Easton, I think, honestly does suck. Like, it hurts my soul, because I love Easton. Easton is like probably #1 waifu for me in this game, but she sucks. She only decreases damage from single target attacks by 6% for each OC character on the team, including a subslot. So at the max you're looking at is a 24% damage reduction from single target skills. If this were just decreases damage taken in general, it would be amazing. But they decided to just make it single target attacks. I don't know why, they just did. And then she also has an ult depletion move, which is we already have a good red unit that does that. in Red Zeldris, so yeah. And then she has this card as well, which is good, by the way. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not good. She can remove debuffs. She increases defense related stats. I believe this is what Red New Year's Red New Year's Elizabeth has this card, which is nice, but it's like, I mean, is it? I mean, I guess if you want to run her with a defense-oriented team, you could, but otherwise, of course, her ultimate's the same. Otherwise, she's pretty garbage. I'm not gonna lie. She really doesn't have a place unless you're really pushing the OC team. She's not really like the craziest. You could run her on the back if you are pushing an OC team. You still will decrease damage taken from single target attacks, but it's like, single target, really? You couldn't have been AoE. You couldn't have been just decreases damage in general. But no, they decided to like make her lackluster. Unfortunately, she does have very good synergy with Valenti because she can prevent the enemies from actually getting their ultimate gauge. She can decrease damage taken from Valenti, so she also can remove debuffs and increase defense related stats. So she does work fairly good with Valenti, but even then, it's like that's not really the best for Valenti in my personal opinion. But yeah, so that's Easton. Very lackluster, pretty bad. She will be with Valenti on their banner, so yeah. And then Denzel's free, so we don't even have to worry about using gems for him, so that's very good. However, Denzel isn't that great of a unit either. He's simply kind of just there to be the free unit fodder that we get before Merlin arrives, which is good because you don't have to worry about like spending at all. Now you can you do summon on his banner with free tickets that they give you. It's similar to the comeback banner that we had on Global for the those 2 weeks. It's literally the same login bonus, I think. It's just his tickets are replaced. So it's very good that they decided to make his banner free. Like at the very least, you can, I believe, pull him on his banner, but there are 60 SSRs, so the chances of you pulling him are like substantially low. Like it's actually like insane. But again, not a very good unit in my personal opinion. Does have very good base CC, I will say. Does have very good base CC. But his skills are not that great. Deadman's Revenge is actually very good. However, since it doesn't taunt, this isn't very that viable in PvP. Also, Goddess Elizabeth can just take this off. So yeah, not really the craziest, but it is still very good. They did buff it from his story mode version as well. But his first skill is it's bad. It's very bad, and his passive is still bad as well. So shame that they decided to make 2 red units like just lackluster. Easton is like, in my opinion, Easton is better than Denzel, but it's still like they have no place right now in like the meta and PvE content. Maybe Easton more so than Denzel because of her buff card, but Denzel's Deadman Revenge can also work in PvE content as well. So I don't know. We'll have to see when they come out, but I do believe like they are lackluster. Denzel just sucks in my opinion, but it is what it is. And then finally, Merlin. Merlin is the last unit right now on JP that they have currently, right? She is the latest unit that just dropped, and she's actually very good in my opinion. She's actually very good. Some people find her boring, but she's good. I think she's very good. I wouldn't say like she's like over the top, like insanely broken, but I think she's still good. I think she's balanced, right? I think she's balanced in the way that she's fair. And it's kind of crazy to think about that in a festival unit, because no festival unit has like been balanced or fair. I think probably the closest we got to that would be actually Small Wing King. I think he would actually be like the closest we get to fair / balanced, right, in this game. But she's good. She's very good. Her first skill has a Power Strike card, which you guys already know can inflict massive damage because of Sariel. Now I will say, I don't know if Sariel's is stronger simply because Sariel's Grace, number 1, and Sariel is literally just like built different in terms of DPS, because his Power Strike card hits like 6 times. It's actually insane. Like I don't even know anymore. It's crazy. But yeah, her Power Strike card will still do incredible damage, especially if you do have her at max HP because of the second part of her passive, right? Increases the attack-related stats by 1% per 4% of remaining HP when using skills. I believe someone did cap this out at 25% attack-related stats, so you are getting a buff of 25% attack-related stats. Let me know if that math is wrong, but yeah. So during the enemy's turn, each enemy skill cannot deal more than 40% of the hero's max HP. So at the most, it will take 3 cards to kill her. Like, it will take a whole like turn to kill Merlin, which is kind of insane when you think about it, since you are capping their damage out at 40% of her max HP. Now I actually think, because I know a lot of people are going to want to build her with HP and defense, which makes sense because people already have a Merlin built with HP and defense, but I actually think building her with HP and defense might not actually be like the craziest, because if you have a lot of max HP, keep in mind the damage that they do is gonna be a lot bigger, because if you have a lot of max HP, 40% of your max HP, depending on how much you have, like, it does scale still. So I don't know, right? But still, for CC, it is nice. She does have incredible base CC as well, with being at 4,505, so very, very good there. Her second skill kind of brought back Infect. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, it kind of brought back Infect in terms of just cucking units that, you know, rely on lifesteal, rely on healing. It kind of brought it back. Like, it's actually really good. And then the damage that she deals is actually insane as well, because she has 50% at base level 1 and then 150%. So if you build her with like HP and crit damage, that would actually be very, very powerful. I'm not even gonna lie. And then her ultimate is like Ludo's mixed with Goddess Eliz's barrier. It's insanity. But yeah, so you get 600% at 6 out of 6, and then 20% of the, you know, barrier created at 6 out of 6 as well. So very, very powerful card. But that's it, global players. These are all the units that we are missing currently. I think next week global JP gets a new unit, so we'll see what it is. But right now, as of the recording of this video, we are missing 5 units on global that JP has, which is insane because they decided to mush 6 units into one banner on global. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. You guys think putting 6 units on a single banner was a smart / dumb move? Do you guys think it was just stupid in general? Let me know what you guys think about the units that we're missing, etc, etc. But yeah guys, with that said, as always, I will see you all next time.